Lumines was one of the best music puzzle games to ever be released. It pretty much became a staple for the original PSP and even continued that trend with the PlayStation Vita. Although Lumines has been on consoles and PC before, it has always felt like a series that belonged on handhelds to me, and that's never felt more true than with the Nintendo Switch. Lumines doesn't have a story, it really just doesn't need one. This game is all about incredibly catchy music and addicting puzzle mechanics. Lumines Remastered is very much the original game that debuted on PSP back in 2004, brought back to life in glorious HD and even 4K on some platforms. For those unfamiliar with the series, Lumines may give off the impression of being sort of like Tetris, and it sort of is. It's more of a Tetris cross Bejeweled game with stellar looking visuals and even better sounding music thrown into the mix. The puzzle mechanics are easy to grasp and make the game incredibly inviting to new players and also those that haven't played the game since they put away their PSP. Squares comprised of smaller 4 individual colored squares fall down in a wide grid. You're supposed to use the different colored squares to match up squares and rectangles of a similar color. As you match up the colored squares, a timeline will constantly go over the entire grid in a rhythm. When the timeline marker passes over the same colored squares, they'll disappear and begin a combo chain. Clearing out the blocks doesn't just add on to your score though. As blocks are cleared, the blocks above them will drop. This clears out the grid, giving you more space to continue playing or even just continue a chain as more squares are formed automatically with the falling blocks. On the left side of the screen, you'll see a preview of the next 3 blocks in rotation. This becomes an essential tool to the strategy as you begin to plan out your block placements, especially when it comes to the special blocks. On occasion, the game will throw you a special block, and these are blocks that act like bombs, chaining together similar colored blocks even when they're not in a rectangle. This is a quick and fun way to clear out long chains of colored blocks and make some quick space if your grid is filling up. Speaking of which, just like a game of Tetris, once you fill up your grid and can't stack anymore, the game is automatically over. Like I said, it's a really simple concept and easy to grasp, though not to say that the game can get challenging. Traditionally, most puzzle games speed up the further you are into the game to keep the gameplay feeling hard or difficult. Lumines does this a little differently. Rather than progressively getting faster, the gameplay matches the tempo of the song being played in the background. This means that the speed of the level and the timeline varies based on the background music tempo. When the timeline is being played a little bit faster, you have to work faster as well to make the larger scale squares before the timeline actually comes and wipes out the rest of the grid. Controlling the game is extremely easy. You can press one of the face buttons to rotate the square in your position and then use the D-pad to move either to the left or right and drop. The controls feel tight and smooth, never feeling finicky or loose. Now that's the core mechanics of Lumines, a simple yet highly addicting music rhythm puzzle game. This core gameplay comes together to form a variety of different game modes in this remaster. There is the challenge mode that has you run through 40 possible skins or music levels in the game. Challenge mode is split in between 3 sections, basic, endless, and shuffle. These sections almost act like music playlist options. Playing through basic acts as the game's campaign, making you play through all 40 skins in a specific order. It's always the same order, so through trial and error you can kinda get a grasp on what to expect from certain levels. Endless and shuffle are pretty self-explanatory. Endless infinitely loops you through all 40 skins, and shuffle randomizes the order of the skins instead of the traditional order. Both of these are unlocked after completing the basic mode, and they're welcome additions to the remaster as the shuffle mode was one of the most requested features in the original PSP game. In addition to the challenge mode is a skin edit mode, which is essentially a playlist creator. You can choose from the skins you've unlocked already and create a playlist of songs that you'd like to play in any order. It's a great tool for those marathons of the Shine-In song over and over and over again. Outside of the challenge mode, there's a few bonus game modes that try to use Lumines mechanics in interesting ways. The time attack mode is pretty straightforward, you're playing the base game against a timer. The more interesting game mode is the puzzle mode. In this feature, the game challenges you to form a specific shape with the square blocks within a time limit. Alongside the puzzle mode is a mission mode that challenges you to clear blocks in a certain amount of steps. While they don't outshine or really run parallel in terms of fun with the main game mode, the puzzle and mission mode were fun distractions. They offered some decent amount of challenge and a bit of breathing room in between the long challenge mode sections. What is equally as fun as the main game mode is the multiplayer mode. You can either play locally with a friend or against a CPU. This puts 2 players against each other on a shared grid and ultimately competing for space. As one player chains combos together, they'll earn a larger margin of the shared grid, making it harder for their opponent to work out their own combos. It's incredibly addicting to play against a friend locally. The competitive nature of fighting over space really solidifies the experience as a fantastic versus mode, not just a fight for a better score. I just wish that this remastered version had an online mode. Although it is great to play with someone on a TV locally or in tabletop mode on the Nintendo Switch, being able to play against a friend online would have been amazing. Seems like a bit of a missed opportunity for this game. There's an online leaderboard for you to upload your scores, but that's about it. With this remaster comes beautiful new visuals for the classic skins available on the PSP. Although the graphics and the art is still the same, it's a major upgrade from the resolution of the PSP. If you're playing on the Nintendo Switch, the game runs at a lovely and sharp 720p in handheld mode and 1080p in dock mode. Playing on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, that runs at a full native 4K for even sharper visuals. While of course the game isn't going to feature amazing or stunning graphics, I mean it is a block puzzle game, the light visuals that sync in with the music really do look magical in HD. Lumines uses music in such interesting and clever ways with the level design that would go on to pave the way for future music-based puzzle games. All 40 classic songs from the original game make their way back in this remaster. Playing on the Nintendo Switch, I thought it was really clever to see the remaster use the HD rumble to mimic the beats in the background. Not only was the music catchy, but I was feeling it with every slight vibration in the Joy-Con. There's even this rather elaborate trance mode that syncs multiple Joy-Cons that has you put extra controllers in your pockets for a more immersive experience. It's as elaborate as it sounds and realistically not something worth doing a ton of times, though surely something cool to show off with friends whenever they come over. Lumines is a game about matching colored blocks together, all while in sync with good music. Sounds pretty basic and boring, right? But you couldn't be more wrong. It's an addicting puzzle game that laid the foundation for future puzzle cross-music collaboration games. This remaster brings the classic to modern platforms with eye-dazzling HD visuals, and even some bonus features like the HD Rumble Sync on the Nintendo Switch. Having this PSP classic run in HD and still on the portable feels like a dream. It feels right at home. I do wish there was some sort of online multiplayer mode though to play against friends across the world, or even just some sort of crossplay feature between platforms that would support it. Aside from that knockback and some slightly lengthy loading times, Lumines Remastered is the retelling of the classic I've always wanted. For the completely reasonable and affordable $15 price tag, I have no problem recommending this game whether you pick it up on the Switch, Xbox One, PS4, or PC. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give Lumines Remastered an 8.5 out of 10. That does it for my review of Lumines Remastered for the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. If you have any questions about the game that I may have missed in this review, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. If you're new around here, subscribe for more content just like this, and thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.